Between the US and China have also heightened. This time, the cause is the Trump administration's decision to ban the entry of Chinese officials into America. The United States Department has imposed visa restrictions on Chinese Communist Party workers for undermining the freedom in Hong Kong. Mike Pompeo, the Secretary of State, has said that sanctions imposed by Trump's office was considered to punish Beijing over the proposed security law in Hong Kong. The visa sanctions imposed by the US would target both current and former members of the Chinese Communist Party and comes right after the US Senate voted to impose sanctions on individuals who undermine Hong Kong's autonomy and the banks that do business with them. The Chinese have called the US's decision a mistake and that it should be immediately withdrawn. The Chinese embassy in the US also released a statement saying that Hong Kong was an integral part of China and that Beijing would not allow any foreign interference that would affect China's sovereignty, security and development interests. China is now preparing for its upcoming parliamentary meet and will be discussing the new security law that is likely to be imposed on Hong Kong. China's security legislation would make everything that undermines Beijing's authority over Hong Kong a crime. China is also likely to deploy its own security and law and order agencies in Hong Kong for the first time. Earlier, the US President Donald Trump said that he would end preferential treatment for Hong Kong as a response to China's activity in the region and claimed that Beijing was replacing its promise of one country, two systems with one country, one system. Trump further questioned China's handling of issues in Hong Kong and has hit out at the Xi administration, accusing it of desecrating democratic ideals. Let's now shift focus to the China-Australia relationship, which has become increasingly rocky in recent months. And Australia is now showing that it is adamant to continue with its tit-for-tat policy with China after suffering trade losses. The Australian Counter-Espionage Agency has raided the home and office of a federal lawmaker as part of a sweeping investigations into the allegations of a Chinese government plot. The intelligence officers raided the properties of the New South Wales legislator, Shakwet Mosselmain, over the allegation of China's attempt to influence politicians in the country. There have been reports of Mosselmain's alleged links to China, as he had recently praised the Chinese President Xi Jinping's unwavering leadership during the COVID-19 crisis. A message is sharply at odds with the Australian government's position. These reports have been reported by an Australian news agency. The authorities have not made any evidence public yet. The case is the first high-profile criminal investigation of the Chinese influence peddling to be made public since espionage laws were passed 2 years ago. The measures were aimed directly at Beijing's attempt to shape the country's politics through donations, promises, and pressure on politicians at every level of government. Last week, the Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison had alleged that the country was under cyber attack by sophisticated state-based cyber actors, hinting at China. Earlier, Australia's foreign minister had accused China of contributing to a climate of fear and division over the coronavirus pandemic.